I'm ready to plant a few more things in my straw bales. I got 3 straw bales earlier in the year to experiment with some straw bale gardening, and I planted in one right away, and instead of planting in the other ones so quickly, I decided to prepare them. I learned from the first one that it doesn't do quite as well if you don't prepare it in advance. All sorts of the wheat seeds came out of it. In fact, this other one over here still has some coming out. This one don't have very much. It's got a few little weeds in here. Here's one, but it don't have very much in here at all. I can tell a huge difference in this straw bale now versus the straw bale when we first got it. I have moistened it, I prepared it, I put some urine and some other fertilizers on it. I put a piece of black plastic over it and let it stay on there for a while in order to kill all the seeds that had germinated on it, and all of that has made a big difference. It's got a hugely different feel. It feels decomposed, and this first one that I had put a T-post in at the very beginning because I was afraid the kids might knock it over, but these have been sitting over here this whole time and have not been knocked over or anything, so I don't think I'm going to put the T-post in. I'm going to skip that step this time. I'm going to plant 6 pepper plants. I lost track of what kind I had. I had some red and some yellow, and then some California Wonder green bell peppers. I've also got some shishito peppers over here. I just grabbed the 6 biggest ones, and I think this is big enough to put 3 on both sides. So you can actually plant in the sides of straw bales as well. I'm going to put them toward the top. I'm going to make a little hole for it, and you can see with this first one especially that I do, we'll make a little hole for it, and then I'm going to put it in there, and then I'm going to water it in very well. That couldn't really have been easier. The first ones that I planted weren't that easy to do. I actually planted from seeds, the first ones that I did. And what happens, I've already accidentally knocked over a few of these in the past as they've been sitting on my back porch just finishing. I've been kind of babying them a little bit. Whenever they're over on the side like this, whenever they stay like that for just even a day, they'll start tilting up. So what'll happen is these will start tilting up and growing up this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these other 5 in here as well. So that couldn't have been any easier, really. The good thing about these is that there's not as many weeds. If you'll look around the ground over here next to these, there are weeds galore. So I've had to keep the garden weeded. This has a few little weeds here on the side, but I think I killed most of the weeds that were in here. So this is going to be weed free. And one of the downsides to it is that you have to water it much more. You've got to make sure it stays watered. But some people who have grown this way before say you don't have to water it quite as much. And the lettuce back here behind me, I've not really watered that at all in days. It's still alive, but it's not doing quite as well because lettuce isn't really a warm weather crop like this. This couldn't be simpler, and I'll just keep on watering this. I'll probably water it every couple of days. I'll probably also put some compost tea on it whenever I'm composting, using compost tea everywhere else. But I don't really think that's too necessary. Just keep it watered. You see how the plants are coming out on the sides over here. That'll turn up a little bit. It's got plenty of room in between. I could probably actually plant something else on here, and I might actually do that later. I might look and see what some good companion crops for bell peppers are and plant something else in here. This is one of 3 straw bales. What I've already learned is that you need to prepare the straw bale first. Prepare the straw bale first. You can't just plant in it immediately or you're gonna get all sorts of weeds in it. And it seems to work better for me to go ahead and have a plant started and don't just start it from seed inside the straw bale or on the straw bale. That seems to work better to have a plant. And these have been sitting out for a couple, 3 months already. They've been rained on. The sun has shined on them. They have, I've prepared them a little bit. So do all those things, and that's the best. And I want to hear what you have to say about straw bale gardening. Have you tried it? Are you willing to try it? Because this really has been easy. I haven't seen the product of it yet, except for the lettuce. And really, I grew the lettuce at the wrong time of year. We will watch this, and we can actually compare it to some of the other bell peppers peppers that I've started in the ground. I've got a whole row of them, and I've got a few more that I've got to get in the ground soon as well. But I want to hear from you, your experience with straw bale gardening, your advice for straw bale gardening, your attempts at it or your future attempts. And what I want you to do is to get out there and try something. Again, I've watched YouTube videos for years. I've read all sorts of articles, but it doesn't do good to just read them and to watch those things until you actually go and try them. So go and try something today. Just get out and do a small project, do one thing, and you're going to build on that every single day with compound interest. And that's how you get wealth, whether it is financial wealth or whether it's knowledge or experience. Just compound interest. Build on that every single day. And that's what we're trying to inspire you to do here at Copperhead Road Homestead. Thanks for coming.